What's good, savages? Welcome to The Savage Show. On today's episode, I'm joined by professional wrestler Justin Newhook. Justin and I met a few years ago. We had the pleasure of working together, and we quickly became buddies. Justin is currently living in Nova Scotia, so we don't get to see each other a lot, but we do speak from time to time, and every time we talk, we have great conversations. So when I thought about resurrecting my podcast, he's one of the first guys that I reached out to, and he gladly accepted my invitation. So I hope you enjoy our conversation. I'll let them in. What's good?
What's up, gangsta?
What's good?
How much? Can you hear me?
What's good?
What up, what up, what up, what up?
Yo, what's up?
That better?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah? I don't know if I'm recording. Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you too. Perfect. What's good, brother?
Not much. I tried to do it different. I don't want to wear headphones this time.
No headphones?
Nah, I'll try without.
I always enjoy headphones. The problem with the headphones right now, they're really just for show because there's something messed up with my board, so I can't hear myself. I can hear you in the headphones, but I can't hear myself talking in the headphones, which kind of pisses me off, but I haven't figured it out yet. It's this new program I'm using, Riverside FM, to record these podcasts, and it's pretty awesome, but I'm still figuring out all the kinks and all the different settings. So
your quality looks fucking great. Mine looks like shit.
The what?
Your quality of your camera looks great.
Oh yeah, I got like a HD webcam that I ordered and stuff. But don't worry. Cool. Don't worry about that because the website that I'm using actually upgrades all the so when I release the actual video, your video quality will look better.
Okay.
Yeah. What's good, man?
Not much. Not much. Just getting back from the gym. Had back day.
It's not another leg day. Every time I see you online, it's like you're doing squats. I'm like, the fuck? Does he do squats every fucking day? Like,
I do legs twice a week now, and it's different. That's for sure. That's really all I really post is because that's the really good lifts that I get is my squats. Like I'm deadlifting over 400 again, but
You were at a powerlifting gym for a while, right? Like was it pre-pandemic, like before the pandemic and everything?
During the pandemic, they opened up. Right? Yeah, they opened up. They were scheduled to open up, and then the pandemic happened. So then they waited till the summertime or something like that, and then they opened up for a while. They were there for a while, but after they weren't charging enough, and I think they just weren't getting the funds that they thought they were going to get, and so then they ended up shutting down, unfortunately.
Yeah, like many other businesses during the last few years, right?
Yeah.
But I'm glad to see you back in the gym constantly because I remember when you were at the powerlifting gym, you were like at your best self. It was like you were so happy, and it was. It's fun to see people in their element, and when you find something that you're like, I don't know if I want to say good at, but something that you enjoy trying to get better every single day.
Yeah, it's I went from like a powerlifting type thing to now I'm doing like more high reps, but I'm still keeping like my weight, like the numbers have gone up as well as my reps. So it's just like I don't know how it worked. My buddy, he's a monster, got me started doing it, and I'll never go back now.
You always train with a training partner?
Not always. Sometimes he's out of town, but I like going with a partner because it's, like today I was so exhausted from yesterday. We did this crazy high volume workout that was insane. And then all day today, I was just like dreading going to the gym. I just didn't have any energy. I took pre-workout and I take that, Chris Bumstead stuff. And it's amazing. And it did nothing for me today. Like I had to just keep forcing myself to go do every rep. It was one of those days. So on those days, it's good to have a partner for sure.
Yeah. Normally when you go, like, what's your approach? What's your mindset when you, like, you're on your way to the gym? Like, are you always like, is it like 9 times out of 10, you're like looking forward to getting to the gym and working out, or is it more? Yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely love being in there. I'm a social person too, as you know. So when I go to the gym, like my friend that goes with me, it's not that he's not social. He just can't go up and talk to someone like super easy like I can. So when I go in there, sometimes I go in and headphones are on and I don't fucking talk to anybody. But then there's other times I could spend, if I'm there at the gym for 2.5 hours, maybe like 25 minutes of that is just staying around talking to some people. So,
yeah, it's definitely something I miss. I haven't been to a normal gym in a very long time. I'd say like almost a year now. I've been working in my garage almost every day now. And even when I used to go to the gym, I enjoy working out by myself. I don't know what it is. Like I don't always used to put headphones on, but like sometimes I just put the headphones so people wouldn't come talk to me. I wouldn't even listen to fucking music because I'm like, I don't know what it is. Being in the gym for me is like a release. It's like, this is my me time. And it's probably because I'm so busy everywhere else than when I'm in that's basically the hour and a half where like I'm by myself. Yeah. So it's like, I need this, and it's not because I'm not a social person, you know me, right? So once I start talking, that's another issue. I don't trust myself. If I go to the gym and then I start chit chatting with someone that comes to me, cause sometimes I'll see someone and it's like, oh fuck, man, I'm supposed to be done like 20 minutes ago and I'm not even halfway through my workout. So, the workouts I've been doing now, because number one, it's easy for me. I get home at 3 and I'm in the garage by 3:30 and it's like I work out and I'm within an hour I'm done and I can do all my things, get dinner ready, take care of my kids, all that stuff. So it definitely limits me as far as like equipment and stuff. I don't have that much, but for the type of workouts that I do, like I do a lot of high reps, high cardio. Like I got a couple dumbbells, a kettlebell, and like I could do pretty much every muscle group.
You're fucking killing it.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you.
You are. I assume that I can swear on this.
Oh, dude, please. I've probably sworn that 16 times already.
No, you're absolutely killing it. And it's like, I don't have the same workout regimen as you, and I don't have the same end result as you. Like, you like doing your marathons. I can't run because my knees are crap. I'm surprised I can do what I can do in the gym. But we have completely different end games, but we both go in there with the same mindset of, like, we have to be better than last time.
Yeah. I think it's important. Like, I wake up like that now, where, like, it's like on my way to work in the morning, like, I don't know if you're like me, but I have the exact same routine from Monday morning to Friday evening. And even like Saturdays now with the kids and everything, it's always the same routine, right? So it's like I wake up 6:15, 6:10, I get ready. I'm out the door by 6:45 on a good day. So I got like 10 minutes drive to work. Once I'm in the car at work, like I'm already thinking like what needs to be done today? How can I get better at this? And I also spend that time sometimes like overseeing the things that happened days prior. Like, I did this, like I shouldn't have done that. I reacted this way. Fuck, like why the fuck did I react like that? Like in the moment, it's hard sometimes because I have like these habits of like, it's kind of like built into me. Like I react this way, I freak out this way. And one of the things during the pandemic I really took time was like I needed to figure out like what were all these reasons why I was like I was. And so I started being really like looking within, and trying to figure out what it is. And I became aware about a lot of shit that I was doing. And I figured out by just taking the time of placing things and adding things together and going, oh, maybe this is why I'm like this. And then the moment I became aware of why I'm like this, so there's no like blame, like, oh, it's not just like, oh, I'm a shitty human or I'm a shitty person. There's an actual reason why I react the way I react, so that the moment I can become aware more often than none now, the moment I go to react, I go, wait a minute. Like normally I react this way and everybody gets upset. So how about you just shut the fuck up right now, take a deep breath and say nothing. Just say nothing.
It's hard though, isn't it?
Oh my God. Like sometimes like I'm just trying to like say, hey, what's up, kitty cat? Sometimes I'm just trying to help my wife because my wife has a really like stressful, high pressure job. And sometimes she just wants to vent or just talk about, you know, her stress or just her day. And I'm always the guy that wants to fix everything, like a lot of men. And that's one thing that during the pandemic, I'm like, dude, I just need to just shut up, just let her talk. That's one thing. The same thing I do with my kids as well. Like I used to react certain ways with my son or my daughter. And it's like, okay, I can't react like that. I'm just going to not say anything and see where it goes. And most often it's just like it passes. And then you realize you're like, man, like I didn't get upset. People around me didn't get upset. And they didn't create this like negative feeling for 30 to 40 minutes that everybody was awkward around each other because I fucking lost my shit or I said something stupid or like I reacted a way that it's like a work in progress. But then when you become aware of that every day is a work and everything I do needs effort behind it. I just can't be like free all the time. Everything has to be like, oh, I need to be aware of this. I need to be aware of what I say, what I do, how I do things. I'm able to build new habits and trying to, you know, just not trying to react as much instead of just taking a step back and going, okay, let me assess this. Let me see if there's any other way I could react. And then I just go forward from there.
Yeah.
It's huge though. When you have kids, it's necessary. It's definitely necessary. Like you have to be a better parent every single day because it affects your kids, how they grow up, how they see things, how they interact with other people. That's the biggest thing with me is that I am aware of all my bullshit. So I'm trying not to project that on my kids. And it's really, really hard. It's really, really hard to not project your insecurities on other people around you, especially people you spend all day with.
Yeah.
It's difficult. So it's, like I said, once I get in the gym, I kind of get all my stress out. And that's one of the things it helps me with, you know? Yeah. So I get to work out my shit in my head. And that's why I go and work out alone, basically. Fuck, man. I'm so happy I get to talk to you.
I love it.
I don't know about you, but ever since like this pandemic bullshit, I feel like even like it's not a diss or a disrespect thing, but I feel like a lot of people are just more comfortable not interacting with each other anymore. Like I don't know if it's like that with you. Maybe it's because I'm older, you know, a bit, and I'm more, you know, I'm busier elsewhere. But sometimes I feel like, and I don't see anybody. I don't see anybody. The only time I can get to talk to people is on camera like this, face to face and stuff. And when I get to actually meet up with friends and stuff, holy shit, man! It's like
it's so much better.
Right?
Like I moved out of Halifax. I live in Truro now, and like Dino, he lives up in Ontario. Connors and Marcus, they live in the Moncton, Shediac area. Blay is always gone a bunch of places, so I don't get to see any. If it's anybody, like if I talk to them, it's FaceTime on like the cell phone and stuff like that. So that then when we do get to meet up, like you said, it's just a different vibe than what it used to be. Like it just means more now.
Yes,
it means more now. Like I get to see Connors on a regular basis now because we're busy for the next few months, which I love. And of course I love being with him. Like we could be together all day, and it's
of course
either if we're wrestling or if we're just shooting the shit, it is awesome. But yeah, when you get to see the guys and the girls that we don't get to see often, it means more now. The hugs are tighter and just a little bit longer now.
when I came back to wrestling early on this year, it was one of the reasons. It was like I remember going to a show this last summer, and it was Mark's show, Apex Championship Wrestling.
Yep.
And I remember I showed up a bit earlier, and I just mingling with all the guys and being surrounded by people. Like, sometimes I tell people, I said, I know a lot of people, and a lot of people in different types of circle. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. And my wrestling family, once I surround myself with them, it's like I'm in my element. It's not that I get to be who I really am, but I get to be someone I can't be anywhere else.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both. Like, it is someone who we are. It's someone that we're very comfortable being.
Mm-hmm.
Is it accepted everywhere socially? Not overly.
Yes,
but to the people that don't like it, they can go fuck off.
Fuck themselves. Yeah. No, I get it. And it's not like my other, like, I'm not accepted by people or by other people or from other circles. That's not what I'm saying. But there's just something about being in a wrestling locker room that just, man, it's so fun to see. When I came back and I saw people and the hugs and the chatter and the laughs and the fucking around and just being around people that are like have similar goals and they're working towards this, you know, similar things. It's just like you get this energy and you get this like motivation to just be like, holy shit, like, yeah, like I should have done this a lot quicker. That's one of the things. Like, I remember after the first match I had, I wasn't convinced yet. I was like, oof, am I doing the right thing? I don't know. I didn't feel 100% comfortable. There's still I think it was just the length of time that I was away from the business that made me comfortable away from the business. So when I came back, there was like that first time I was like, yeah. And I'm extremely hard on myself. So, you know, you're like, fuck, that match was, you know, everybody's like, oh, you had a good match. It was great, blah, blah. But me, you know, you're probably the same way. We're all the same. It's like, nah, I could have done this better, could have done this better, blah, blah, blah.
And sometimes it's even just down to the little like, oh, I could have took a step this way instead of that way. And everyone's just like, I didn't see nothing. Like, it's like, well, I did. And it's going to play around in my head for the next couple of days. So just let it happen.
Yes. So, but after I took a booking elsewhere where I got in my car, had people, we traveled for an hour and a half, went to Ottawa. And then from then, I remember after that night, driving back home, getting home at like 2:30, I was like, man, like this sucks right now. I'm going to be super tired tomorrow, but this was a fucking blast. And then I remember waking up the next day and going like, oh man, like okay. I'm not regretting this move at all. Oh. And then ever since then, it's just been like, I'm all in now. It's like I storylines, I'm building, I'm working on promos, and we're working together at Torture and other promotions. It's just like, okay, I'm in. Wrestling is on my mind now more often than none. Because for 3 years, I didn't think about wrestling at all. I couldn't allow myself to think about it because I would just get back. I would be like, either I get back into doing it or you fuck that. I can't spend any energy. Like, spend your energy somewhere else. And now it's just like, man, I miss it. I miss the performance impact of it. I miss I know this sounds weird, but I've said this before, like, and I've written this on posts before, and I've shared these thoughts. Like, professional wrestling for me gave me platform to be this person that I've always been inside or always wanted to be from a very young age, you know, and pro wrestling gave me that platform to be that person. And for 4 years, I was able to cultivate this person into being better and better and better as a professional wrestler. By the end, I was that person. I became that person. I'm still the guy that, you know, I'm still Stefan Paulin, but Savage Paulson merged together. And when wrestling was taken away from me, it was kind of like my identity was completely gone for a few months. And it took me a long time to be able to accept it, but also be able to be comfortable with myself, because I didn't have that platform to execute this person that I became. And then, like we said earlier, it's like, well, I can't be that person in normal, like at work. I can't have that same energy. It's an energy for me. It's like I can't have that same energy. So when I get to cut promos and really fucking get into it and get intense and stuff, oh man, it makes my dick hard. I'm like, I fucking love it. I love it because there's a part of me that loves to perform and that loves to be physical in the ring, obviously, but also like there's a part of me that enjoys the storylines and the performance of it. And it's just like, it's crazy. That feeling when you go through the curtain, and I know a million people have said it before, but it's hard to replicate. It's the fucking hard.
Adrenaline is the best drug in the world. And
right?
I don't think I've done my fair share and I'm clean now and everything, but that's the best. Nothing can compare to it. Nothing can compare to it. The second you break through the curtain and the second you're in the ring, and we're bad guys most times, so when we got the crowd booing us, it's just like I've yelled at the crowd, like, your boos fuel us. So if you want to give it to us as loud as you want, because you're just going to make us better.
Of course.
So, yeah.
Yeah, people don't understand, like, it's not just about the cheers that gives you goosebumps. If you're a heel, your job is not to get cheers, it's to get boos. So when you get those fucking good boos, you're like, I got you, motherfucker. Like, I got you. That's what I'm supposed to be doing. And look, I don't get to work much that heel as a heel, but when I get the opportunity, man, I fucking relish in it. I love it so much.
Were you heel in Ottawa?
It was like 50-50, but during the match, I was definitely heel. I had a girl that was chirping at me the whole time. Yeah. So I'm like, I just zoned in on her, started blowing her kisses during the match. Yeah. Like, it was just like, and I got vicious. I rewatched the match. Actually, I got the video, a couple days ago, and I just rewatched the match yesterday. Like, it's the first time. And I was like, holy shit. Like, I thought the match was so, but now that I look at the match, I'm like, all right, obviously there's a lot of psychology. I'm like, oh, okay. But I was wrestling a guy that was a judo black belt. So he has a martial arts background. So we're like two badasses in the ring. So it's very technical. I'm trying to, I want to be this, I don't want, obviously there's professional wrestling involved. So I'm going to do professional wrestling moves, but I'm really trying to build this persona, this character of really being just an ass kicker, like a mix of like, there's not a lot of fancy shit, but I'm going to grind you and down and be technical.
Who you are.
Yeah, right?
No, it's who you are. Like, that's what it should be. Like, from what I remember, before you did wrestling, you were doing like fighting, if I'm not correct. Yeah, so like, it's who you are. And then I've been in the ring with you too, and it's like, I think the fanciest thing you did in our match against us was the suicide dive. I don't know if that was you or Moose.
No, I did that. I also did I did a springboard knee too in our match.
Yes, you did. But the rest of it was just both of us. Like, when we interacted, it was like, oh man, like, if we knowing what we know now, a few years later, and like, I've really come into myself as a performer in the ring. I still need to work on being more vocal. Like, I don't know what that is. Like, I don't shut the fuck up. And then in promos, I'm the one who talks the most. But then as soon as I'm in front of a crowd, it's not that I'm nervous. I think what it is before the pandemic, I got in trouble a couple of times for saying things and like swearing and just not, I should have not said those things. And now it's like, I'm nervous that if I do blurt something out, I'm going to get in shit again. So like, I'll just make faces at the crowd and just like lock in on that one person. So I'm still working on it, but I just don't want to be that guy, hit something and, or like, let's go. So now it's trying to find out what I would say as that type of person.
It's funny you say that, because it's one of the things I noticed right away when I came back is that like moment you walk through the curtain, I want to be I don't think it's a secret that much, but I want to be a heel so much that trying to be like that strong baby face, like that Stone Cold type baby face where like you're not going like, yeah, and you're not pumping your fist. You're still mean, but you're just giving that look, you little high five to the kids and just getting into the ring and the way you work. Obviously, it's all about how you work in the ring that tells the story of like who's the heel, who's the face. But that even Drew said it last time, is like you're everything seems to be clicking. There's just like sometimes just take a break, give that look to get that acknowledgement from the crowd. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to say anything, but just acknowledge them. Like look at them, shake your head, just a little something that makes it like, okay, you're interacting and you're feeding off the moments. But yeah, it's hard for me because I don't want to be that guy that goes like, yeah, and starts screaming. And I also don't want to be the guy that censors himself if I do speak, because you know me, like you, it's like I have to be careful, like, because 3 words in, I'm swearing, I'm like, fuck this, fuck that, and it's like, whoops, there's a bunch of kids here, and you know, it's like I can't swear, so it's like I don't want to have to think about it, because then it looks like I'm thinking about it, and it looks fake to me. So I just shut up and I just kind of mean mug my way through the ring, and then that's been, to me, honestly, the hardest part to just get back is that the entrance, the interaction with the crowd, and trying to feed off the crowd noise. Like, I don't know, I want to know your opinion about this. So you work a match. Do you constantly pay attention to the crowd reaction? Like to the point where, like, if you're not happy with it, like it fucks with you during the match?
I'm not constantly paying attention to it, but I've been able to like know a certain spot or certain move or just a certain time in the match. I should be hearing something, or I should be hearing like something specific, and if I'm not, then it's like, oh, okay, then I'll click in, and then if they're not as loud for the face as they need to be, then it's like, okay, I'll grind harder, and then they start cheering. Or if I'm the face, and if they're not there, if they're not clapping or cheering where I think they should be, then it's like, all right, gotta take a second and get them, and then we go on to the next sequence or spot.
Yeah, I find that as a face sometimes, if the heel is not not really giving you the opportunity to get sympathy from the crowd, it's, as a face, sometimes you're like, I pay more attention. I'm like, man, we should be getting like, it's funny, like in one of the match I had in Ottawa, there's like one move, like we didn't even plan the move. It was just like, we were just like kind of mat wrestling. We were both on the ground and he was on all fours. And I remember this old like jiu-jitsu, like MMA trick where like if someone's on all four, if you're on like side control, you grab like the far wrist, so that guy's on all four like this. So you grab the far wrist from where you are, and then you grab like the far, and then you flip him, right?
Yep. Yeah. We used to do that. Wrestling too. We used to do it in amateur wrestling.
Right? Flip it, go in for the pin. Dude, that was one of the biggest pop I got in my match. When I flipped him, it was so like he flew and landed on his back, and your crowd went, whoa! Right away, I went for the pin.
It was real.
Like, yes.
Because it was real.
And it was unexpected. It was just like, oh, this is slow. Like, what's going on? People can't figure it out. And then, floop, bang. Like, and it was just like, and then I was like, ooh. And I noticed it right away. And then when I was done after my match, I was out back and someone was like, I wasn't watching your match, but that early in the match there, I heard like a pop. But what was that? And I'm like, dude, was that it? And then when I rewatched the match yesterday, I'm like, that was it. That was like early on in the match, that move, you know, it was just like a boop. Oh, it looked so fluid and so good.
Is that on YouTube?
It is a YouTube link, but I think it's private. I'll send you. I recorded just my match with my phone, and I'll send it to you so you can watch it. It's so it's those little things, you know, just rebuilding back my moveset, seeing what works, what doesn't, and what gets a reaction, what doesn't get a reaction. Like, it's like, and it's work. It's like, I love just getting back to work, getting better, figuring out shit. I love it. I fucking love it. I'm happy I'm back.
I am too. I was super fun when you posted that you're coming back. It's like, okay, so hopefully somewhere down the line, I want it to be in tag, so it's me and Connors against you.
Mm-hmm.
If it happens to be singles, then it's like, I guess you're going to work singles against me and then Connors later on at night too, because we both want to work you again. And it's like I said, especially after the past, like, we haven't touched in like well over 4 years.
Like face to face?
Yeah, like in match, like in a ring. We have.
Oh my God. The last time we were in the same event together was at that hockey rink there. Remember?
Yeah. Where
where
we stood off afterwards.
Yes. And then, but we only had that one time we worked together.
Yeah, at the cancer.
Yeah.
Benefit that Marston puts off. Also, speaking of Marston, I haven't messaged him since he posted about, I assume, taking time off. I don't think he's fully gone from the business. And no one ever really fully leaves the business. And I see that he's at shows and stuff like that. So it's like, okay, I don't know what I feel so bad, because as soon as I saw it, I wanted to reach out to him, and then, you know, we all go through personal stuff. I'm going through stuff as well. So it's like everything took a back burner for a while, and I need to message him and see what's up. And see if he's like, is he good? He's okay?
Yeah, he's good. Look, I'm not going to talk for him, but he at first he was like, yeah, I'm retired, I'm done. And then it was just like, well, I think he mentioned that maybe it's just time off. He's getting back. He's getting back into rodeo.
Yeah, which I saw that. That's right? So awesome. Yeah, like so Emily didn't know that he did rodeo, and then when he posted some new pictures, and he looks like a complete badass.
It's so it suits him so. I've never seen someone dress a certain way. I go like. It's sexy.
I could never pull that off. Yeah, it's
so sexy. I'm like, come on. It's not even fair. Every time he posts a picture when he's got his fucking jean jacket with his cowboy hat and his mustache, I'm like,
mustache and everything.
I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
He showed up. He showed up at a North Pro show, either last year or the year before. And as soon as he walked in, Connors and myself were sitting down at a table getting dressed. And as soon as we saw him walk in, I think that's exactly what we said. It was like, get the fuck out of here. Yeah. Like, you can't be walking in the locker room looking that good.
The guy is like tatted up from head to toe. He looks great. He's yoked as fuck. He's looking lean. And he dresses like a fucking PIMP. I fucking love him so much. And I said, like that, just the look, you know, when someone like I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah. When he posted the rodeo pictures, Emily's like, are you, what? He does this too? And I'm like, yeah, I know. Like, he's just like he needs to be like, go work for WWE or AEW or Impact. Like, you need to be on TV. Just like show. I'm not a huge fan of when people try to make a cowboy gimmick to a degree. Like, it's hard to do. You have to be believable at it. And it's like, he doesn't do like the cowboy gimmick, but he has parts of it in his entrance music and on his gear and stuff like that. And it just works. Like, it's like, because it is who he is. That's what he does. So.
Exactly. It works because that's who he is. I think when you try to force a cowboy gimmick on someone that's not a cowboy.
That's what I mean. Yeah. Like, if you try to force it on someone that's not, you try to make someone that's not a biker into a biker gimmick, and you're going to see right through it.
Yeah. Like, you're not a biker. You don't even, you drive a Honda Civic. This fucking guy is a biker. You know? And there's nothing wrong with people that drive Honda Civics. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying.
No.
But yeah, man, I fucking love him, and like I said, I speak to him once in a while, and he's fucking Marston. I respect that guy so much. I love him so much, and like I said, I remember the time he told me, I was like, dude, you do whatever the fuck you want. I'm going to be supporting you 100% of the time. 100%. Like, there's no ifs, ands, and buts about it, bro. I love you like a brother. Me and him have become so close in the last few years. Like, it's like I've cultivated these friendships with professional wrestling that I'm so, God, I hate using this word, but I can't think of another word. I'm grateful. I'm blessed, but whatever, hashtag blessed, but I truly am. Like, it's like the people I've met, people are so grateful, so nice. And then it's just that genuine, like you see someone and the smile, like, I can't imagine the next time I see you face to face and we get each other a hug, it's going to be like goosebumps. It's going to be like, oh my God, I missed this so much. You know what I mean? Like,
well, like, I don't know if you can like edit this out or like beep it so I don't say the date, but on May 7th, I'm going to be seeing you. So
I'll try to cut it out.
Yeah.
It's, I can't wait.
Yeah, because
it's going to be fun.
I don't know if it's been announced yet or if Drew really cares or anything like that. But yeah, like, I'm pumped to see you. Like Connors and myself, and I'm pretty sure Emily's coming. So like, you get to see the gang again, and hopefully we all get to go out for like sushi afterwards, like Drew likes to do and shit like that, because it's been far too long. Like, we seen Sheldon this weekend past at Destiny.
Yes.
And I think the last time we seen him was a Seaway show, or it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
And like, he was in the middle of a conversation when we walked in, and I felt so bad, but I just walked up and spun him around and just grabbed him. You know what I mean? He's just like, he lit right up, and then Connors was right behind me. And then he saw Emily, and he was, him, and then like seeing like Tarek, and man, there was just like so many people that we hadn't seen in so long. Like, I seen Dino in 4 months or like 5 months, so that was awesome as well. But there was just like so many people there that you talk to someone for about 10 to 15 minutes, and then you turn around and then you were talking to somebody else for 10 to 15 minutes. And it wasn't like, it was awesome. Like, I've seen Reverso, so like Dan Pisano, he amazing. Aiden Prince came over, like he's injured right now.
Yeah.
But he came to the show, and you just sit down and you just shoot the shit. Jody Threat, and just like all those like people that you've only got to see once or twice a year, and like then it became like you didn't see him for 4 years or like 3 years.
Yeah.
So it's going to be like, when we show up for Torture Chamber, it's just going to be like a lot of hugs. I know there's a lot of new guys there and like new students and stuff like that, but
a lot of new blood, that's for sure. Yeah, it's
they're going to see a lot of love that day, that's for sure.
That's awesome. I'm glad to see Sheldon back, man. I was like, man, that guy he's legit, that guy. He's a great guy, great wrestler, great worker. Yeah. I mean, man, I was happy to see him come back to it. And he's fucking killing it right away. It's just love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I fucking love it.
That's basically exactly how I said it to him too when I saw him on Sunday. I was like, I just do so happy for you. Like, just everything you're doing. Of course, I loved it back then and I love it now. So it's good for him. Really good for him.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's good for everyone. I think that we get to do this thing again. Just get to. I was thinking about this yesterday. Was it yesterday or the day before? But like, it's starting to feel like I can go weeks without thinking about COVID.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think right?
Recently
something popped up and went, oh yeah, it's a fucking thing, isn't it? Like.
It's like, I think it was a couple of days ago, and I went like, I haven't thought about COVID for a few days, if not a week or so, where there was like no mention of it. No one I know. I don't remember the last time I heard someone say they got COVID. I don't even if people fucking test each other anymore. I have no idea. But every time I see someone wearing a mask is where I'm reminded, like, oh yeah, pandemic. And I do. Like, we took the metro the other day to go see WWE with the kids. I saw there's people on the metro that wear masks all the time. My son was in the hospital this Sunday, and everybody was wearing a mask. Yeah, did you see that? What happened?
Yeah, I meant to reach out to you again. Fuck this. Man, I'm really bad.
Don't worry about it.
I'm really bad with like seeing things and then going, oh, I have to reach out to this person, and then it just fucking slips my mind.
Yeah.
I meant to reach out, and I meant to reach out to him and send him a message and be like, hey, injuries happen. It's just how you bounce back from it. Like, you need to take the time and actually recover from it, rehab it properly.
Yeah.
And then when you come back, you're gonna adapt to it. What happened though? Because your post is in French, and I'm a newfie, so
Yeah, I was actually in my studio, right, like I am right now. I was actually on the phone. I was actually on a call with someone, and so I come out of my office / studio, and he's on the couch with an ice bag on the arm, like in bad shape. Like you could tell like something's wrong. I'm like, the fuck happened? I'm like, the fuck happened? It's like I fell off my bike. I'm like, your bike? So this Sunday here was really nice outside. The roads were all dry. There's still a lot of snow, but the roads were all dry. It was like 5-6 degrees. It was fucking nice. So his friend, him and his sister went outside. They were playing outside. She was on his bike. He was on this little like scooter. They were playing around. He came in back inside, and one of his friends that lives literally like a 3-minute bike ride away says, come over. I'm just on spring break. He hadn't seen this buddy in a long time because he's busy with school and stuff. And so he's like, hey, I'm going to my buddy's place. He got on his bike, and he told my wife, he's like, I want to ride my bike. My wife's like, no, I'll drive you. He's like, no, I'm going to take my bike. All right. He literally like in front of our house though, like not like 10 seconds. Something happened. He doesn't know. The bike malfunction, let's just say. Something happened. He flipped over the handlebars and he landed right on his elbow and fractured like the tip of his elbow. Yeah. So he went to the hospital that day just to be sure, because he had baseball tryouts starting this Sunday. Right? So my wife wanted to make sure, because I was just like, it's all right. It's just a bump. You took a bad bump. It'll be sore for a few days and then you'll be fine. But my wife has this instinct. It's like mama bear instinct. And when I looked at her, like my wife does not work. I'm like instant panic normally. Normally it's like, oh my God, what the fuck? Like worst case scenario pops up in my head. I blow that up time 1,000 and then I'm panic attack, make everybody around me crazy. My wife hates it. But this time I was just like, yeah. It's just a bump. But then I looked at my wife, and my wife was just like sitting on the edge of the couch, like not. And I saw it in her face. I'm like, I think because I didn't see it happen, I didn't see how he reacted in the moment when he came into the house after. I think she saw how he reacted more than I did. So she knew something. Because my son's he's a tough son of a gun. Like, he's like me, like, no, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah. Like, fuck that. Like, his arm could be falling off, but he wasn't doing that. He was like, this fucking hurts. And I was like, my wife's like, look, he has tryouts this week, starting next week, which is this coming Sunday. And we just to make sure, you never know. All right. And then 9 hours, she was at the fucking hospital for like 7 hours. And then she's like, yeah, it's fractured. I'm like, son of a bitch.
Yeah.
So obviously the first thing for him was devastated, because he's been working all winter for these to get better, right? It's like, baseball is everything for him. It's everything for me too. I love the sport. I love that he loves it. It's our thing. It's what we do together. I coach him. I help him. We share fucking Instagram videos constantly. Like, hey, check this out. And I had been working with him for these past few weeks, and he had a batting coach, a pitching coach. Like, we had everything lined up. Like, he was working indoors 4 to 5 times a week with batting cages and everything. Like, he was like putting in the work.
Yeah.
And like even the Friday, so this happened on Sunday, the Friday before, I went to the indoor facility and I was coaching him and we were doing batting, and he figured something out, and something started clicking and we're super happy. We're like, man, finally we're busting through this thing, and fucking 2 days later, fucking bam. So I think the fear of, number one, like, is this gonna, like, am I gonna be the same player after, right? Am I gonna be shitty baseball player, like he said? And I had to, obviously, like, look, dude, it's an injury. Everybody gets injured. it's going to take, from what we can understand now. I had a friend that works in a hospital. He showed the x-ray to an orthopedist, and he said it's 4 to 6 weeks in a cast. He's like, it doesn't look like surgery is necessary. It's just let it heal. Already it's been almost a week now, like less than a week, and he's like, he hasn't felt pain in 2 days. So it's a plus. And he's in good spirits. It sucked for a while. It really did. He was devastated that he wasn't going to get to try out. But I told him, I said, look, it's just, we just keep working till next summer, till the following summer. This is just, this is an opportunity for you to just keep grinding. You know, he's going to get to play baseball this summer. He's not going to get to play at the same level, I think, that he wanted to at least try out to play. So a little bummed out, but at the end of the day, you have to explain and make him understand, look, it's part of life. It's a little bump, a little part of your life story. And then it'll be forgotten once you start throwing the ball and when you start hitting again and things start clicking again. I said, don't worry about it. So
like a kid his age, like a year feels like forever. And it's not going to be. And by the time next year, like you said, he's going to be an even better player.
Yeah.
And
dude, he's like 13. He's going to be 14 in May. He's almost as tall as me.
Well, it's not that tall anyway, so.
6 feet tall for a 13-year-old. He's like 5'8" right now, I think.
I'm 6'2", so.
Yeah, big boy.
No, that's for 13. Yeah, I think I hit my like max height around like 14.
For real, huh?
I had a growth spurt. I remember I was I went out to visit family on the East Coast of Newfoundland one summer, and when I came back, there was a certain thing. When I came back to my mother's, when you're coming down the stairs, there was like a little, I don't know what it's called, but it's just like a wall.
Yeah.
I'd never hit it. And then I came back from summer, and I had a 3-inch growth spurt.
Oh my God!
I was running down the stairs, and I just hit my head right on the thing. I didn't, because I was like, that was never a thing. And then, I went flat out on the floor and everything. Like took a bump,
took a bat bug. Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, I guess that's so then every time going up, I'm gonna have to like duck this thing.
I didn't hit my spurt, like my top height, till I was in height, like last year of high school, I think, like 17 maybe. I hit 6, and that was it after. I remember being in high school, I was 5'11", 180 pounds. I was that for a long time. And now I'm back. It's funny, now I'm 42 and I'm back to that fucking weight. It's insane.
I haven't been under 200 pounds since I think I got hit 200 pounds like a year after high school. I was 180 pounds when I graduated, or 189.
You're a big boy, but it's not like you're overweight there. What are you right now? 250?
Yeah, that's
right?
I weighed myself today. I was thinking it's 255. I had a doctor's appointment, so yeah, and 255 it said on the scale. I'm fine with that because I remember when I got out of high school and went to Fort Mac, I ended up being 250 pounds, but I was a very completely different 250 pounds. Just there was no, I didn't, I just worked and ate. That's all I did for a year. So I sprouted up bad. So now I'm 250 pounds and it's completely different. So
you're an athlete now. You could see you put in the work. You're in the gym all the time. And how many times a week do you work out? To be honest, 5 times a week.
It used to be 6, but I'm down to 5 now. I used to take 1 rest day, and then now I've pushed it to 2, just because I don't really need to do arm day as many as I used to, just because I'm getting tinnitus or something. So I'm just letting that chill for a bit. So at least 5. Sometimes I'll go in on another day and do something else. So 5, 6.
And the way you train now, have you noticed recovery, as far as recovery, you feel like you said earlier, you do legs twice a week, and you lift heavy on the legs, by the second, you still feel it when you're working on the second leg day?
No, surprisingly, your body adapts to it. The first week was difficult. The first week was definitely difficult, but now it's even if it does feel like a little bit sore going into the gym that day, by the time I'm done like my warm up sets,
it's funny that how like because what I'm doing right now, I completely switched it. So last week I was like I was not gonna run at all much. I was gonna put, now that I'm back at wrestling, I was like, oh man, because I know if I start running, I'm going to start shredding weight. And I was like, I want to be a little bit more bulk. So, but last week I was like, fuck that, I'm going for a run. And that turned into 4 days in a row of running. And so, but what I do differently that I never did before is that I work out. So I'll go for like a 5K run, or like now I'm up to 6.5. And I work out immediately after. So I go for a run and then I work out for 45 minutes after. I lift, and dude, at first I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to support this and not like either crash or feel like shit. Obviously I feel a bit more expended, I guess. But bro, I did this for 4 days straight last week. Okay, no joke. And I don't mean to be that guy, but I pay attention to every single aspect of my body, every single feeling, everything. If something's off, I'm like, I feel it. So I did running 5K 4 days straight, and I worked out after every 5K and I'm talking like not just like lifting at like high intensity with barely any breaks though. So there's still like my heart rate is still elevated over 100. I went to torture chamber on Saturday for open practice. I was in the ring just working with people for like an hour and a half, just nonstop, tag in and out in the ring, working. Yeah. The last 30 minutes I got on the heavy bag, and in between I do 3 minutes on the heavy bag, and then I would do 10 burpees. I had this burst of energy, and my cardio, my tank was like, there was no end to my tank. I was like, yo, like I've hit a new stride. Like when I hit a new stride and I feel it, man, it makes me like, because I doubt and question myself a lot. Like, I don't know if you're like this, but like I could work out every day of the week. I could post a picture with me with abs and looking all good, and then I could be like, I don't work hard enough. You know what I mean? Like
I'll never have abs, but there's days where like I go, like I can go to the gym. Like it's happened a bit better recently. But yeah, I see like the shirts fitting a little bit better, or like lights are hitting, and I'm like, oh, my shoulders are growing a little bit. That's cool. And then there's other days I walk in there, I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake. I can't even like look at myself in the mirror type thing. And I obviously have to tighten in the diet anyways, but it's just like, there's some days you're like, oh yeah, you shouldn't eat what you fucking eat. Like it's just...
It's tough. I'm really hard on myself, and I'm rarely satisfied. But like on days like Saturday, where like I see an immediate impact on just a tweak of my training. Well, it's not like a tweak. I'm fucking adding like running 20 kilometers more a week now from 0. So it's definitely gonna help somehow. It's just like, man, I felt like a fucking machine. I felt like I could run through a wall and no one could. There's this boost of confidence when I ask people like one of the best things about working out. It's like, sometimes in those moments when you get that extra boost of confidence from just the result of what you're working on. Oh my God, man. It's almost as good as that feeling you get when you fucking go through the curtains and you fucking like you get that pop or that wham. And, that's why it's hard for me to understand when I see people that just don't do that kind of shit.
Yeah. Like I'll be at the gym and someone will talk about what they did that weekend, and it's fun. Like I'm not saying it's not an eventful thing, but I'm standing there being like, if I told them what I did, I had like 250-pound dude like jump on me and like hit me with a chair, or like throw a ladder at me, or you know, I took another guy the same size as me and threw him across the ring. Like, it's like sometimes people look at you and just go, "What the fuck?" Like,
Yeah.
like what? And it's like I can't imagine not doing that.
Sometimes I walk around with people at work around and they don't know that I'm a pro wrestler. And then I'm like, sometimes I'm just like, it's not like a arrogant thing, but I'm just like, I want to tell them, but it's just like, I'm not going to blurt like, hey, by the way, did you know it? Like, I'm not that guy. Right. But it's just like, I do remember the times where I told someone or they found out I was a professional wrestler and then they go like WWE stuff. I'm like, yeah, like that, I guess. And it's always the same type of like, huh. like a confused, amazed, a combination of a lot of feelings towards what you're doing. And then you're like, and I don't know why, but I get a kick out of it. I get it, right? I get a kick out of people reacting like what? Say that again? Like, you do that? You do what? I'm like, yeah, man. Like, fuck yeah, I do that.
At the old gym, the Prime, one time, one of my buddies were coming up and being like talking about chair shots. Like, and he's just I don't know what, I think he's an accountant, and he's come up talking to me about it. But then one of his friends is behind him, and he's got this like really weird look on his face, like, what the fuck are they talking about? And then he comes up to me and he goes, what do you do that you know what it feels like to take a chair to the back? And I was like, I wrestle. Like, I don't know what else in the world where, like, maybe stuntman, but like that, I guess we are kind of stuntmen too. But like, what else do you think that I do for a living that I would take shots to the chair or shots to the back with a chair? But like, just the look on his face. And then his friends had to explain. He's like, no, he wrestles. They're doing it for fun and not just beating the shit out of somebody with a chair. It's like, I'm not that type of person that would go around bragging about it if I did anyways. Exactly,
right? But again, it's that same reaction you get where you're like, it makes you, let's bring it all back to what we were talking about at the beginning of our conversation, is where for us, you're like, yeah, you're a pro wrestler. I'm talking to one right now, and it's everything we could talk about. Like, it's funny because before I'm like, I want to try to not talk about about wrestling for the whole hour, and then we ended up talking mostly about wrestling. I'm like, what the fuck else, But it's comfortable. I get no, it's like, I get it. It's natural to talk about it with you. But then when you talk about it with someone that doesn't know, or that's like gets that reaction we were talking about, then you go like, oh yeah, what I do is not that quote unquote normal. Like, yeah, like you get lost in the moment of going like, yeah, dude, I'm a fucking professional wrestler. And then you go, oh, wait a minute. Not everybody is a professional wrestler. Like, how many, like, if you had to guess in Canada, how many professional wrestlers do you think work right now?
I call them independent wrestlers because I can't. My trainer always like, you can't call yourself a professional wrestler until you pay at least one bill every month with it. And I think that's a little, but it's like, yeah, I call myself an independent wrestler until I have a contract in my hand. Yeah. Or if we ever got that great that we were just going around making enough on the indies, then I do. So I always call myself an indie wrestler, or independent wrestler. So how many do you think there is right now in Canada? If you had to take a guess. Under 1,000. Really? Dude, I was going to say like, maybe you're right. Yeah, maybe you're right. Because like, I'm thinking in Maritimes, there might be 50 that do it like on a regular, they're out like regular basis. Yeah. And in Newfoundland, there's about 20. And then you go to Quebec. Quebec would have a lot. I'd say there'd probably be about 200 there, maybe. Yeah. Like I said, that do it regularly. And then Ontario, maybe a little bit more. I don't know about Saskatchewan and Manitoba. I don't hear a lot of talks about Manitoba or Saskatchewan, really.
I see once in a while online there, but it's not as prevalent as in Ontario and Quebec. Obviously, I live in Quebec.
Then it picks back up in Alberta and BC. So
yeah,
on a regular basis, that
maybe 1,000 to 1,200, maybe.
Yeah,
it's a good guess. Maybe we'll probably either way bang on or way off for some reason. But anyway. Brother, it was really nice talking to you. We could talk for hours. I'm trying to keep this to a 1 hour minimum because I know people are, it's hard to keep people attention for I used to do these podcasts for 3 hours and it was just getting ridiculous after a while,
That's why I can't watch Joe Rogan stuff. Not that I would regularly anyways, but I see clips of his stuff online, but any podcasts that are that long, it's just, sometimes it's nice, especially when it's a good thing. But sometimes, like you said, an hour, because someone they do stuff and they throw it on. Yeah,
I'm pre-recording at the moment, so I'm planning on releasing in the next week or two. So I have a lot of I have all next week, every night. I think I have someone. So and
you'll be able to when you talk with Connors, you'll be able to talk. You'll be able to talk wrestling with him also, but He's been through a bunch, and he went to New Zealand for 3 months. I know. He's got a lot. He's got a lot of awesome stories to tell. So
I reached out to him right after I reached out to you, but I reached out to him on Facebook Messenger. I don't know if he didn't get back to me. Maybe I'll reach out on Instagram instead.
He's bad with stuff like that. There's times that he'll send me memes, and I'm like, no, you need to go back up and look at the message I sent you and reply to that first because. You know what I mean? So yeah, sometimes he's bad for it, but that's why I'm the one that always gets messages and sets up the bookings. And I just send him a message of these dates, put them in your calendar.
That's awesome. But I can't wait to talk to him.
He takes care of the merch stuff. He does all the inventory for that shit and everything like that. I'll send in the orders, but he takes care of that shit. So we can't work without each other. Yeah,
a great team. You take care of shit. He takes care of certain shit. So it works out. Man, I'm glad we got to talk. I'm glad that you accepted my invitation to do this again. And
we can do it regularly. We can do it.
Yeah, man, that's the plan. I'm trying. There's gonna be some people that I'm gonna have on regularly. I'm trying to look in. I'm building. It's more like a YouTube channel that I'm building now. So there's going to be the podcast, which I'm recording right now, but I'm also looking at live stuff. So I'm working on a live show once a week, and this podcast might become once in a while. I was planning on doing this live, but I want to try out, just work out the kinks at first with this new program, and then. Because this program I'm using Riverside FM, I could make it live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, all at the same time. When I hit record, it shoots it live. It's awesome. So it's I'm working on a few different content things for a YouTube channel. So I'm working on I'm going to do a live once a week at first. And there's other interests that I have that I'm going to be posting on. I want to build some sort of I hate using the word network, but where's it's a page where there's different types of content, not just interview based conversations, or I don't like to call them interviews. I'd like to call them conversations, but whatever. You know? So I'm pre-recording right now. I'm probably going to look into releasing it extremely soon. So again, man, thanks a lot, man. I appreciate the time, and I love you, brother, and I appreciate you very much.
Love you too, homie. We'll see you soon.
See you very soon. Be safe. I love you, buddy.
Love you too, man.
Cheers.